1075 WGCI, the Shine's #1 for hip hop and R&B. I know what it is. It's the morning show with the destined legend Leon Rogers.
Here.
The beautiful Kendra G.
Morning.
And myself, the shortest damn man in Chicago, Kyle. And as you can see on the Zoom right now, looking very fancy, elegant, and ready to get the day going. We're talking about real life power couples right here. DJ Envy, aka Rashawn Casey. What's going on, brother? And your beautiful wife, Miss Gia Casey. How are you this morning?
You are wonderful.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, y'all looking good, man. So we're going to talk to you. I got a lot going on, but we're going to start with the reason that y'all here right now. Real life, real love, a brand new book y'all got out, just kind of talking about your relationships, the ups and downs and things of that nature. What brought y'all to the point to put this book out?
For myself, so many people came and asked how, right? Gia and I have been together 27 years. We've been married 21. And people always wanted to say, how you guys keep it spicy? How do you guys not want to kill each other? Like, how? Like, you got 6 kids. Like, I would be strangling somebody.
And why do you continue to want to be together?
That's right. So, we started a podcast, and the podcast did exceptionally well. And sometimes people are like, look, I'm not up on podcasts. I don't know how to get to podcasts. So they wanted it in book form. So Gia and I 2 years ago decided to write a book, but which was difficult because we keep having kids. So we have 6 kids. And then, I'm always traveling, always on the road. And then the pandemic happened. And it was like, sit your ass down and write this book. So we were able to sit down and finish the book. So we did, I would say, about 85 to 90% of the book during the pandemic.
Nice.
Yeah. Listen, so Envy and I went to Hampton University together, and I'm just always so proud of you. I'm really trying to be more successful than Envy because I want to be the most successful Hampton graduate. He's making it hard, but I'm going to take that title eventually. So just remember I said that. But Gia, I want to talk to you because there's so many things. As a woman, first let's talk about the photo shoots, because I feel like your family is known for the matching outfits. And Envy, you could jump in on this because Leon and Kyle don't like this. Are you all game for the matching photo shoots? Because the whole family coordinates in y'all photo shoots. See, the guys are shaking their head no. So tell me the process of that. And Envy, after you let me know, are you game for that?
So if you read our book, there's a part in it called the family mission statement. And basically it encourages families to get together and decide who you are as a family. And it's deliberate, it's intentional. It is making a decision, you and your children, to say, who are we? And for us, we are a unit. We're more things, but at our core, we are a unit. So when we step out of the house, we step out of the house as a unit. So one of the ways that that's exemplified is in the way that we take photos. When we go on vacation, that's kind of how I pour love into my family, into my children. I take the time to curate these outfits and these looks and go shopping and make sure that everyone looks what I call beautiful, pleasing to me. And everybody gets so excited because it's not just me deciding. They get to help me pick those things out too and decide on the colors and the looks and whatnot. The biggest question we get when it comes to that is, are our older children into it? Because we have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. And yes, they are just as into it as my 5-year-old, because they'll pick their colors, or my son will pick out like a favorite pair of swim trunks. And I'll say, okay, well, I'll do something around those swim trunks for the whole family. So it's just one of the ways that I show my family that I love them, the same way that as some mothers will show that they love their family by cooking for them.
Now ask me.
Yes. Now, Envy, how do you feel about it?
Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you why I love it. When I go on vacation,
because he's lazy.
All I got to pack is underwear and white beaters. That's it. That's underwear, white beaters, and white Air Force Ones. That's all I got to pack.
That's funny.
I ain't got to touch nothing. White beaters, underwear, Air Force Ones. That's it.
I pack for a trip 3 months in advance.
I ain't got to do
That's
nothing.
hilarious.
You love the convenience. Like, it's like,
Right.
I'm good.
That's one thing I ain't got to think about. With 6 kids on vacation, I ain't got to. Oh, give me what I got to wear.
That's how I show my
Keep it
love.
moving.
I do all of the thinking.
Aww. See, the guys don't like it though. Leon and Kyle will never do it.
Yeah.
What problem do you guys have with it?
Yeah.
So here's my thing. So every Christmas, my wife is just like you. I bought everybody these matching pajamas. I'm like, nope. I'm wearing my Wu-Tang pajamas this year, G. I got a fly set of Wu-Tang pajamas. I've been waiting to rock them, so they're getting rocked right now. So in our latest picture, our latest picture. They all have on these red little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I'm standing there swinging swords. Wu-Tang Christmas. I just like.
Now I gotta find that picture.
Or they love Disney World, right? My wife is like, oh, the Mickey ears, they into it. She got a shrine. But I believe Mickey is the devil. So when I go there, I'm just like anti-Mickey. I got my pamphlets out. I'm in Disney World like, nah, man, Mickey the devil, and he's gonna say a keyword, and your kid's gonna turn on you and kill you. This is what's happening with Mickey. But they love Mickey. But I love seeing their faces when they go. So I go kind of like Marshawn Lynch, so I won't get fined.
For the first time ever.
Oh, I'm gonna get the hold on. Hey,
pictures?
Babe,
you can kick out the picture.
A Christmas picture. Watch this. Because me and my wife been together, we've known each other 24 years, been married 20 years. So we right in line with y'all. And look, see, man, I'm coming Wu-Tang with mine. Like,
because the screen is changing because the background.
Hold on. Let me go.
Yeah,
let me go naked house. We finally cleaned up today, so we good. But yeah, we so.
Everybody got matching.
Everybody got on a Christmas tree, but you got Wu-Tang.
Oh my God.
Yeah, even for me, this past Christmas was the first time me and Leon are literally been married for the same amount of time. Our anniversaries are 1 day apart, 20 years, 1 day apart, which is crazy. But this is the very first year I ever did matching pajamas with my family. It's really something.
Cal was real crude. You had on the gym shoes and everything.
We all had on our Jordans and we all had on matching pajamas.
I ain't mad at you.
Now let me ask you this, because it has been a long time that you guys have been together, that we've been together. And I was checking out some information, man, talking about how you guys were 16 and 15 when you guys met in high school. Mm-hmm. What's the biggest difference between 16-year-old Envy, 15-year-old Gia, and 2022 Envy and Gia? What's the difference? Because y'all went from being high schoolers to Tom Ford and elegant Gia out here putting out books for the world.
The biggest difference for myself is stamina. I ain't knocking them. I ain't going 20 times a night anymore. But back when I was
never
a kid,
20 times a night. Don't fool.
Maybe
it was
19.
Never.
Well, not 19 times a night. Now I'll be like, woo, I'm tired. I'm like, I gotta go downstairs, go get me something to drink now.
The heat on. Is the heat on? It's hot in here.
Red Bull.
Are you thirsty?
What you got? Oh my God, what you got the heat on?
How about for you, Gia? What would you say is the biggest difference between now and then?
For me? Oh, that's a good question. For me, I've realized that life isn't black and white. When I was younger, everything for me was right, wrong, left, right, high, low. There was no in between. Now I live in a space where there is plenty of gray, which is a blessing because it enables me to dabble in forgiveness and grace, which I wasn't able to do before. I wasn't a very forgiving person, and I definitely wasn't in a place where I would extend grace to anyone who had hurt me in any way, shape, or form. So that's a way that God has enabled me to mature.
That's real.
You know what, Guy, I'm happy you brought that up because I wanted to ask you a serious question. You know, obviously, people who follow you, we know you guys been through some things within your marriage. And, you know, a lot of times the conversation is, do you stay or do you go, right? And I wanted to know, like, what was your deciding factor? Because there's so many women that sometimes will say, I can't believe she stayed with him. And then you be like, well, I decided that my family was more important. How do you know that a guy is worth staying for? You know, Envy and I had talked about this on the radio when I was on the radio, and you were saying you don't encourage your girls to stay anything toxic. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, then you probably wouldn't have got the grace at one point in time in your marriage. So what was your deciding factor for the things that you guys went through that made you want to stay within your marriage?
So to be clear, I didn't stay because my family was more important. I certainly didn't stay because I was a ride or die. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. I don't want to die. So I think it's ridiculous, actually. And I was one of those girls in my black and white phase that you just aforementioned. Why would you stay with someone that cheated on you? Why would you stay with someone that fill in the blank? Definitely one of those people. And God knew that I was one of those people. So when it came to our relationship, I believe that in God's eyes, we had something far greater to accomplish as a couple, as a unit, than the troubles that we had suffered in our marriage. So I think that he sent people on his behalf to convince me that our marriage was one that was worth saving.
You gotta
And
explain now, because now they looking like, what, did he send a bird? Did he send a
well,
like now you gotta explain it.
it's a very long, in-depth story, and it's a very significant story, and it is in full detail in the book. And I don't want to cheapen it by giving a Cliff Note version of it, to be honest with you. So you would have to read the book to really understand. But we were on the brink of divorce. It was imminent. I had hired an attorney. The attorney was paid. I told Rashawn's parents. We told our children. It was written in stone. And a series of events happened where God revealed himself to us through people who came to us and told us that our relationship needed to be saved, and they were sent to do it. One of those people was my best friend. His name is Rashid. And one of them was Tyrese Gibson, believe it or not. And
just to let you know, her best friend Rashid did not like me. He thought our relationship was toxic. He knew us early on and did not like me. So the fact that he was coming and saying, no, God pretty much, sent for me to come save this relationship.
yeah.
And Tyrese, who, I didn't know Tyrese, what I mean? We would all make fun of Tyrese. When he heard me on the radio, he called me out the blue one day and was like, bro, I prayed this morning and God sent me to save your relationship. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, do me a favor, book a private room at Chow's at 8:00 and I'm going to be there. And I'm like, what? He was like, do that. And I did. And Tyrese came there. He was singing. He had a background singers. He had a guitarist. And he was singing. He sang the song Stay. And then he sat down with us and just
for about 4 hours.
Started having conversations about relationships and men's views and women's views. And Tyrese kind of, I think for the next like maybe 30, 60 days, every day. Now, mind you, I didn't know Tyrese. He didn't have any music.
We did not know Tyrese.
He would call every day just to talk about our relationship and dive in. He would be in the middle of shooting movies, in the middle of recording albums, and he would push all that to the side to sit there and help us with our relationship, which was the weirdest thing, craziest thing.
And so did my friend Rashid. And Rashid, what was very interesting, up to that point, we had been together maybe 17 years. And he was the only person, and when I say the only, I mean the only person in our lives together that didn't champion our relationship. The only person. He's the only one that ever had something negative to say. Gia, I think he's too controlling. I think he's too possessive. I think he's too jealous. I think he's too obsessive. Maybe you might want to step away from the relationship and maybe do something else. And he and I would have long conversations. We'd have long discussions. And his wife is my other best friend. Her name is Sasha.
That's what I wanted to ask. Was it Rashid or was it girl? You need to leave him alone.
No, it wasn't a girl.
It was real Rashid.
Yeah, it was a real.
Okay.
It's Rashid from the streets of Passaic, New Jersey.
Right. Okay.
No. And his wife was, she went to school with me. She went to college with me, and then I met him subsequently. But he's the only one that didn't really, I don't want to say support. He supported us, but he wasn't in favor of it. God sent him. Mm-hmm. And then God sent a complete stranger on top of it. And that was enough to convince me.
Now, I have a question. This is going to my man, Envy, right? Because I struggle with this. How do you make the inseparable not insufferable? So, it gets to the point where you with your wife all the time, y'all kicking it, y'all together. How do you make that inseparable not become insufferable? You're like, damn, I just want to watch pro wrestling one night without having to watch Bridgerton.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
But you know what? With me and my wife, you think like we've been together since 16 and 15, and Kendra G would know since she went to Hampton. I didn't have many friends. She is my friend. So even when I'm out with the fellas, she's there. When we watching basketball, she's there. If she's got a show that she's watching, Bridgerton or Bachelor or Bachelorette, I'm watching with her. Like, we are best friends. When I go to work in the morning, we do morning shows. So I'm leaving 4 a.m. I'm talking to her on the phone and we just talking about anything. Then when I get off work and I'm driving to my office, I'm talking to her like we are connected to the point where it's like, people say I have a best friend, that's my best friend, but no, she is my best friend. When I go to the store to buy jeans, I'm calling her like, yo, what you, like she's like my friend. I'm like, yo, what you think about these jeans? How they look? She's like, nah, I don't like the way they look on your legs. All right, but like, that's
He's
how we are.
FaceTiming me from the dressing room.
Like, that's how close we are. And the main reason why is, one, besides that I love her, and is she's real. She's gonna tell me the real, and I know it comes from a place of love. You know, some people tell you like, man, I don't like that, but they tell them because they might hate a little bit, or they might feel envious a little bit. She gonna tell me the real, like, I don't like that. Or I don't like the way you said that today on the Breakfast Club. Nah, I think you should go back and apologize because that was wrong. Or even when it comes to our family, she'd be like, yo, you spoke to Logan, which is our 18-year-old. You spoke to him kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie. You should go have a conversation with him, because I mean, if you was my son and I spoke to you, like, I would want 5 minutes with you. Like, we have those type of conversations, and sometimes it don't go that easy. Me and her go back and forth, and we argue and we go back and forth. But that's my best friend, and I only get that with her.
Aww.
Let me ask this question, and this can go to either one of you, but Envy, I know we don't know each other well, but I've met you a couple of times. I met you in Jersey at an event First Lady L was doing years ago. I met you here at a Remy event, met you here at an Event Noir event. And just from your conversation a second ago saying about how you didn't have many friends at Hampton, right? So my perception, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, is you might be, despite what we do for a living, somewhat of an introvert.
I am.
Okay. And Gia, are you more of the extroverted one? And how does that play into the relationship that you have with each other with the backdrop of what we do publicly?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm definitely more of an extrovert. I am the more social one. I'm the one that will go out and want to enjoy time with friends and whatnot. Meanwhile, he'll want to stay home. And I don't know if it's because he's that way naturally, or if it's because he's on such a public platform every morning for the past 12 years.
Right.
And for those 4 hours every day, he has to be on.
Yep.
So maybe in his private time, he just wants to revert and relax and not have to be on and not have to talk and not have to put on a show. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good question for him to find out if it's, more nature or nurture that you're that way.
I think for myself, I think it's a little bit of both. And it's gonna sound crazy, I don't trust people. I have a bad problem with trusting people. So I always feel like if I don't have to talk to you, if I don't have to trust you, then I won't. I have a small clique, and I keep that small clique around me, and I'm good with that. I'm good when I have a birthday party. I ain't gotta be like, I got this long list. I'll be like, well, he gonna be there. He got work that day. He gonna be there. Party on. Like, that's how I feel. Right. And anything outside of that, I just don't like. I'm not the type that's the cliquish where, I'm not with the cool kids. I'm not with the cool. That's not me. I'm with my wife and my kids, and I'm fine and I'm happy with it. Now, people that I do know, like whether it's Kendra G or whoever it may be, they know me and they know me for what I am and what I do, and we can have conversations. But outside of that, nah, not at all.
Yeah. So listen, so I'm the odd one because I'm the only non-married person in this interview. Y'all all got wives and husbands. We see. Now let me get some advice from you guys, because it's in this book. You guys give advice to single folks, because I feel like right now you two have something very pure. Like, y'all know each other since teenage years, right? So you pretty much grew together. Now there's so many women who want to envy because, y'all do well financially. So a lot of single women only want to date the man that already got the money already, not really willing to work with somebody. The men want a woman that's beautiful, whether she got surgery or not. So do y'all have any advice for single people that could end up in a situation like y'all one day?
You have to realize your partner's ambitions and support them through those ambitions, regardless of where those ambitions end up, whether they are realized or not. You have to be in it for the right reasons and for the long haul. If you're only with someone because they either have money now or because they stand to earn a great amount of money throughout as he moves towards his future, then you're already at a deficit, because things will inherently go wrong when you don't love a person truly from your heart for their heart. you can't dodge that bullet, because along the way, when there's bumps, you're going to fall off the wagon because you're not strapped in right. You're not strapped in right. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be in it for the right reasons. And if you are, then it's my belief that God will bless your union and God will bless your finances.
Yeah, for myself, I think it's you got to remember this, like she said, from the heart, right? A lot of people look at looks, but what happens when you get old? Your testicles hit the ground. You know what I mean?
That's great.
You know,
That's great.
you get wrinkles, your hair turns gray. You know what I mean? You don't have the same, you don't look the same as you did as 21. And why should it matter? I don't care how Gia looks when she turns 80 years old. I'm not gonna care.
But Gia gonna be fine because Gia always been fine.
I'm gonna be with my shirt off and with my big ass belly with the top down, and I don't care. But that's what you want in a relationship. And I think a lot of times people look at, well, I want a basketball player. I want somebody that makes a lot of money. I want a girl that's an Instagram model. She gotta have this. But the whole idea is that you gotta have that heart. If that heart ain't pure, that's what you should be looking. You shouldn't be worried about, oh, he's only 5'2". You shouldn't be worried about, oh, she's 6'3". I didn't know you was 5'2", Kyle. My bad.
5'5".
But you know what I mean? All that shouldn't matter. It should matter as a person's heart, and that's the most important.
I mean,
thing.
and obviously, Kendra, think about it. How many women do you know that are absolutely beautiful, ex-video vixens, Instagram models, actresses, entertainers, you name it, that are single?
So many.
At an age where they want to be married.
Right.
Very many. And the reason is because how we look on the outside might attract a man, but it will never keep a man. And if it keeps a man, you're keeping the wrong man. And you know something, Halle Berry said something recently that really, really stuck with me. Obviously, she's known as one of the world's most beautiful women ever. And she said that her beauty has never afforded her anything and has never saved her from any of the pains of relationships.
Wow.
Yeah. So you have to be in relationships for the right reasons.
I love it. I'm getting this book. I was gonna get it anyways, but I'm definitely getting
Now
it.
you gonna read it?
Yes, I was buying it regardless because I gotta support. But now I just really can't even wait to read it.
Yo, so I got a question for both of y'all. What is your guilty pleasure? Each one of y'all, like for my wife, she loves these chocolate salted caramels. And if the kids and me know that if she come in and her caramels are gone, we better be gone. Because
it's a problem.
Gonna be a lot of bodies left around. So what is each one of you all's guilty pleasure?
Well, let me start this off. First, I want to say Gia is a fat ass, right? And when I mean fat ass, she eats crazy. Now, I'm gonna be honest. She has a metabolism that I haven't understood or I can't explain, right? I'll be in the gym. She'll come to the gym with ice cream and a big bowl of strawberries and just watch me work out. She has never worked out in her life. She has never touched the gym. She has never had surgery. I look at her eating and I gain weight. So to answer your question, I love chocolate chip cookies, soft chocolate chip cookies. It's something about it. I just love every night before I go to sleep. I go downstairs. I give me about 4 or 5. I eat them right before I sleep.
Coke.
And a Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I don't know what it is. I like a Pepsi and some and chocolate chip cookies before I go to sleep.
That's like a diabetes snack, bro.
and it has to have a lot of ice. It has to have ice
all the way to the brim.
All the way to the brim. The ice has to touch my lips. Pause. That's
okay.
That's me.
And me, you said it in your answer. So mine is a big bowl with a pint of Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream and about 16 strawberries cut into fourths on top of it. I have that for breakfast every morning.
Yes, it's disrespectful. She doesn't. It's disrespectful. Like I look at her, I gain weight and I hate it every day. I'll be like, wait 5 more years, you're gonna be fat. Hasn't happened yet. I've been saying this since 21. It hasn't happened.
All right, this is my last question for y'all because I feel like I know where this is going, right? Y'all been very public about your relationship on the radio, online, Instagram, social media. You already mentioned that you got the podcast. Now you got the book. I can see a TV show coming with y'all similar to T.I. and the Family Hustle. You know, y'all doing reality TV soon? What's happening?
We've been offered a lot, so we'll see. What I tell people all the time, as long as we get the chance to executive produce it, right? And this is not bragging, but we're financially secure, so we don't have to do anything for the money. It just has to be right on what we want to do.
Yeah, it has to be the right fit.
I remember, we were trying. This was about maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and this is where God is running our life, right? And we were going to do a reality show back then, but I don't think our relationship was ready. We weren't ready. We weren't where we're at now.
8 years ago, I was still going through the forgiveness process.
Right. So we weren't there. And I remember going to BET, right? At the time I wanted to do BET, I was like, it's Black Entertainment Television. Remember what BET told us?
Yes.
What did they tell us?
They said that we weren't Black enough.
BET said we weren't Black enough. And I was like, what do you mean? What the hell is Black enough? I'm from Queens, New York. She's from Brooklyn and transferred Queen, got 6 kids. The father's from the Breakfast Club. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe that was a sign that we just weren't ready by this time. But we've gotten a lot of offers.
That's a crazy thing for BET to tell you, though, bro.
Yeah, it was. But
at the time, there's different people there now.
Yeah, different people there now.
They're amazing now.
Yeah, shout out to Connie and the staff. They support us and everything we do. But back then, I was really hurt by that because I'm like, I grew up on BET, but
like, how are we not Black enough when we're Black? Like, how does that? What does that mean?
She Jamaican Black, so
yeah.
She jerk chicken and oxtail Black. But we might have something in the works that we're working on, but nothing yet. But we would have to EP it because we know what we want out there, and our family.
We're not gonna shuck and jive for television.
We don't do that.
It's not gonna be fake arguments or anything scripted. It has to be real.
Let me follow up with that. How do you avoid what Jada and Will are going through? Because a lot of people are saying that what Jada and Will are going through is they share too much, right? Jada has this red table talk and she gave too much of their family business. And that's why now the whole world knows about the things that they went through. And now they're almost in a sense cursed because what they did in their private lives and now been exposed. And now the whole world has an opinion. And then, you're getting smacked at the Oscars for somebody talking about, your wife. So are you guys nervous about exposing too much of your marriage with the world and maybe that could shaking any type of ground?
Now, let me say this. I don't think they share too much. I think what works in their relationship works in their relationship. When they ask, how do you feel about cheating in their relationship? And they say, no, there was no cheating in their relationship. That just tells me that they're comfortable with their relationship, whether they have an open relationship, whether they do what they want to do, they have hall passes, that's them. And they're happy with their relationship. Now, the other thing is like anybody else, I'm sure you got 2 brothers on here that's married. It's like, sometimes I feel like, yeah, you could talk about me all you want. But when you talk about my wife, you might get the hands. You know what I mean? And there's nothing that could stop me during that time. And I mean, you guys see me.
Maybe me on your back, not letting you go up
there. Right.
You.
That is true. But you guys will see me, and I'm emotional when it comes to my wife and my kids. And I black out because that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to protect and provide our family. So I don't necessarily, it was because of that. I think he was just tired of them people just making fun of his wife. And I just think he snapped. Do I think he would have brought it back? Yeah, he probably would have. But if I was in that situation, I probably would have did the same thing. I would have got up. Now, my wife wouldn't have let me.
No.
She would have probably put me in a chokehold and,
That was the biggest thing. And it's the only commentary that I didn't see shared with all the media that covered that. I didn't see that. And I was shocked because that was the first thing that came to my mind when I was sitting there watching it live. When he got up and approached that stage, I'm thinking to myself, how do you allow your husband to get up and do that and defend your honor, or what he thought was defending your honor? You know your husband. And I feel like we're each other's keeper. I don't control him. He doesn't control me, but damn it to hell if my opinion doesn't weigh heavily upon him. As soon as that was going on stage, I would look at my husband and see that look in his eyes. And I probably would have just grabbed his lap, grabbed his hand, like, don't even think about it. Just keep smiling, boo-boo, pretend like the joke is funny. Mm-hmm. And that's it. It wouldn't have been any. And if he tried to get up, I told him, like, you would have had to have carried me on your back because I would have done everything to prevent you from ruining what stood to be one of the best nights of your life. In a few minutes, your name is about to be called when that award is presented, and you're going to sully it defending my honor. No. I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. I can take that lump. If I want to have a conversation with Chris afterwards, I will, or you will, or we both will together. But what you're not going to do is embarrass yourself in front of the world in this moment, claiming to be defending me. So
I didn't, and that's the problem that I have with it, because I feel like my wife protects me and keeps me from jumping off the ledge on a lot of stuff. Because, man, we act off testosterone, right?
Yes.
And so when I saw the whole thing, the first thing I said was, one, I was like, that's not Will. Two, I don't really believe that he was doing it to defend Jada's honor. I think he was doing it to be seen a certain way in Jada's eyes because he envied with her and Tupac. And he could never be that guy to her, right? And three, I'm like, my wife, knowing that I have everything, you knowing that Envy has everything, and he could lose it all for something as simple as that, where was she at to say, hey, babe, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Even if Will just goes up and say, look, Chris, ain't gonna be too many more of them, right? Live on the Oscars, and then goes and sit down. Now Chris been put on notice. Ain't gonna be too many more of them. You've been put on notice. But I just felt as black men, to go strike another black man on national TV, and then for people to say, well, man, he acted out. It was the moment, it was the emotion. I said, well, what about Chris Rock family? What about his daughters that had to see their father get slapped on TV?
Too.
That's going to relive that moment. Every year the Oscars come up, guess what we're going to go back to?
But Chris Rock started it. You gotta give the moment starts because of what Chris Rock said.
Nobody going to a whole debate in the middle of this interview.
No, I'm just saying the moment started because Will Smith was insecure about what Chris Rock said. There was many other people that made jokes about it that night before it got to Chris Rock. And all I'm saying is at the end of the day, Miss Casey said it best. Your wife is supposed to be your defender in that situation. Baby, chill. It's okay. We cool. You about to win an Oscar. What do we care about what he said? We'll talk to him later. You know what I'm saying? Not encouraging, not put cables on your back or not say nothing and then leave you out there alone when the media is killing you. What she said just summed it up perfectly from me. That's literally what I was saying. Like, where's that at? Where's that angle at?
Well, to bring it back, this book should have came out before the Oscars. Real life, real love. You know what I mean? Look, I know we're running out of time, but just appreciate y'all for taking the time to talk to us today. Real life, real life, the book, Envy, Gia, we appreciate y'all, man. And I know y'all no strangers to Chicago. So, you know, next time y'all come through town, maybe y'all can be in the studio with us kicking. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yes, we'd love to. I had fun. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, be my stylist, please, girl. Whatever clothes, I can't fit them because you smaller than me, but I know you don't wear the same clothes twice. So I'm gonna lose weight for your old clothes.
Hey, Envy, offline, we got offline, Envy, we're gonna talk about this event noir thing, bro.
Absolutely, we get it together. And also, thank you for lending us Kendra G for 2 days when she came to New York. We borrowed her for 2 days, so she was with us for 2 days.
Lend her? We didn't find out till she got back.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll find out she got back.
They didn't know Envy. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Now you want to go. Now you want to go.
Hey, Envy, two things before I leave, man. I definitely want to connect you with the with NARAB. I think you probably already know who they are. Courtney Jones and them. They came to the show and talked to you, the Dearborn Realtors board, man.
Yep.
A lot of positive things out here in Chicago with Black people's homes, saving them. And two, man, you know, me and the wife's 20th year anniversary coming up. I just want to know, could I rent a car or something? I'll bring it out there.
You got it. Whatever you need. It's all good. Whatever you need.
Envy, speaking of which, I know y'all gotta go. I'm gonna text you. I got a new car that could probably make your car show.
Okay, enough said.
Okay.
The big folks mobile? Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye, Gia.